Right now at 6, new information is released following an officer-involved shooting in Ottawa County. Plus, a fire breaks out at an office complex on Joplin's west side. And McDonald County students, that's the office fire, McDonald County students are getting a much-needed gift from across state lines.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. This is the KOAM News at 6. I'm Chris Warner. We begin tonight with an update to a story we first broke to you last night. The suspect in the chase and officer-involved shooting in Ottawa County has been identified. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office says that suspect is Trevor Shankles. He was taken to a hospital for his injuries after he was shot in the leg by an Ottawa County deputy. He is in custody in the Delaware County Jail. The deputy involved in the shooting is a 14-year law enforcement veteran and is on paid administrative leave per policy. Shankles is being charged with possession of a stolen vehicle and felony eluding, among others. He also has 2 warrants from Ottawa County and 1 out of Jasper County. Just before 9 this morning, a Joplin police officer on patrol noticed smoke coming from an office building in the 1600 block of West 29th Street. When the fire department arrived, they called in a second alarm. Crews closed West 29th while they fought the fire. Officials say the fire was under control a little after 9:30 and officially out before 10 this morning. We'll have more information on this as it becomes available. Breaking overnight, a car crashes into the Carthage Police Department. Now, just after midnight, an officer in Carthage saw a car on Garrison Avenue attempting to turn east onto 4th Street. The car went over some curbs and hit the west side of the Carthage Police Department. Officers at the scene say this is a DWI investigation. There was only one person in the car who was transported by a police cruiser to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It was a lot colder today. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris, that part of the forecast Doug put out the other day performed as advertised, so kept things dry for this day, this time around. But even with sunny skies heading right into sunset, it didn't help the fact that we only made it into the 30s this afternoon. But still doesn't change the fact that we're still sitting mostly clear as we get this evening underway. I am watching a frontal boundary to the north and west. That's going to bring a northwest wind into play tomorrow. But despite that, we are going to start warming things up as we wrap up the weekend tomorrow. As far as where we sit right now, though, mainly upper 20s to lower 30s across much of the region, maybe an odd 35 around Independence. But when you factor in the breeze that's in place, it feels a little bit cooler. It feels like the lower 20s for some and as warm as you want to call it that as the lower 30s for some of you. But temperatures as we go through the night, they're going to actually hold steady in the mid to upper 20s, but eventually we'll drop back into the mid 20s for most, maybe a few lower 20s outside of Joplin. Chris, didn't mean to show you that look at 7th and range line again, but we'll see if we can get views like this again for tomorrow to wrap up the weekend when we get to the forecast here in a bit.
I was going to say, it's a pretty lovely view, Nick. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Nice sunset tonight. Nick, thank you so much for that. Students in the McDonald County School District were recipients of an act of kindness crossing state lines. Families were invited to the Village Bible Church in Bella Vista, Arkansas to receive a brand new pair of shoes. Donations from the shoes came from Samaritan's Feet, a humanitarian organization. District identified this need for shoes within their families and worked alongside the church and organization to meet that need.
Shows that compassion really knows no boundaries. This is a community in Arkansas that's reaching across state lines to help a community in Missouri. And so when you look at this and when you look at caring and compassion, you can see that really there is no state line.
We'll have more on how almost 200 McDonald County students were able to receive a pair of new shoes tonight at 10. Volunteers with the Carl Junction Chamber of Commerce rolled up their sleeves to help out a Joplin nonprofit after it suffered a recent pipe burst in their building. On January 22nd, an alarm sounded at the Alliance of Southwest Missouri when a pipe burst in the sprinkler system, causing thousands of gallons of water to rush through the building. Firefighters responded quickly, doing their part to push water out the door. Today, volunteers are helping take out the trash, removing debris left over from the deluge. The Alliance is thankful for all the support they've received from the community during this difficult time.
Right away, someone asked, "What's your deductible?" and just sat down and wrote a check in a matter of hours, really. I mean, probably 24 hours, somebody wrote a check for the deductible. And that just boosts our morale and our spirit, knowing that we're not fighting alone.
The Alliance is still carrying out its programming and services while its building dries out and repairs begin. The group has moved temporarily to offices at the United Way, located at 3510 East 3rd Street in Joplin. Tonight at 10, we'll learn more about how the community is showing support for the Alliance. And that wasn't the only project for the Chamber today. More volunteers from the Carl Junction Chamber came to the Ronald McDonald House in Joplin to help deep clean and sanitize the building. The house has been short on volunteers since the start of the pandemic, making it more difficult for them to keep up on everything that needs to be done. So as part of a number of projects the CJ Chamber is working on, they added the Ronald McDonald House to that list.
We really want to give back to the community. The community has given so much to us, and the businesses that are part of the chamber really enjoy being part of the community. So this is a day for us to be able to give back to the not-for-profit organizations in town.
It really is important for us to rely on the community to help keep our house open and running. We are one of 185 houses around the world. We are the only house that's completely staffed by volunteers.
If you'd like to help out the Ronald McDonald House, you can log on to their website at rmhjoplin.org and learn more about the opportunities at the house. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Charles Willis served in the Navy. His hometown is Joplin, and we're proud to recognize Charles Willis, tonight's four-state hero. Still ahead, just how long are COVID booster shots effective? We're going to take a look at a new study looking at that. And what new data is saying about how COVID is impacting seniors even after they've recovered from the illness. Welcome back. We're learning that COVID-19 vaccine booster effectiveness wanes after 4 months, but still offers protection. That's according to studies published by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday. Now, it shows that with the Omicron variant dominant, vaccine effectiveness against hospitalizations dropped from working at 71% in the 2 months after vaccination to just 54% in about 5 months. But when the Delta mutation was dominant, vaccine effectiveness dropped from 96% to 76%. Health experts say the study shows the importance of getting those booster shots. Health issues seem to persist for many seniors who recover from COVID, plus new research suggests women who have gestational diabetes face increased health risks later in life. Bradley Blackburn has a look at some of the week's top health stories.
Women who develop diabetes while pregnant are at greater risk for heart problems later in life. A study for the Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine shows gestational diabetes can cause far more cardiovascular problems than previously thought. The risks for heart attack and stroke increase as patients get older. New research finds almost a third of older adults infected with COVID in 2020 developed a new condition that needed medical attention. Those issues involved major organs, including the heart, kidneys, lungs, and liver, as well as mental health complications. And making changes to your diet could add years to your life. Norwegian researchers found young adults living in the U.S. could add more than 10 years to their life expectancy by changing to a diet that includes more vegetables, whole grains, and nuts, and less red and processed meat. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Later on the KOAM News at 6, the countdown is on to the big game and festivities are well underway in Los Angeles.
Plus, we're going to wrap up the weekend and start the new week off on a quiet note overall, but this is one of the big changes on the horizon. We'll break that down in your forecast next. Like Doug said the other day, our weekend has been performing as advertised. It was a nice day yesterday to start the weekend out, but on the heels of our last cold front that came on through, boy, did we feel the drop in temperatures today. We had temperatures top out in the lower and middle 50s yesterday. We had temperatures around midnight quickly dropping through the 30s down into the 20s. We've dropped back near 20 this morning so far, and the highest we've been at Joplin Regional was about 32 degrees. So we're talking about like almost a 20-degree drop in temperatures just from Joplin Regional's perspective alone. But thankfully, we're going to stay quiet tomorrow to wrap up the weekend, and as we go into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Thankfully, we'll be briefly mild, especially by Tuesday and Wednesday, with temperatures on that upward trend. But that brief mild spell is ahead of our next stronger storm system in Doug's pattern that will certainly play a big role in the forecast as we go through Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see how that system's looking in a moment, but look at this beautiful view from 7th range line. The last of the sun's rays here on the left side of the screen in the western horizon. Can't deny how great that looks. You can see how the numbers, they're cold, even though we've got plenty of clear skies out there. 28 in Joplin, the west wind at 7. Makes it feel like 21 degrees outside, and at least Joplin's not alone with how cold it has been so far to start this evening out. We've seen temperatures around 27 at Stockton Lake, Greenfield, Carthage, 31 in Cassville, and then lower to middle 30s in our corners of Kansas and Oklahoma. But even with those numbers, you take the breeze into account, it feels like the lower 30s across much of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma, and even some lower to middle 20s popping up in terms of the effect against your skin. Again, it's all because of a northwest wind to start the day at about 5 to 10, but it's become a little more westerly. That's certainly going to help us out a little bit in terms of temperatures not dropping off too much as we go throughout, the night. You can see how temperatures will drop, and not drop off very much, quite frankly, in the upper to middle 20s with mostly clear skies, and most of us will eventually drop back only into the mid 20s to start your Sunday morning out. At the very least, we don't have any threatening weather working in from the Skywatch storm tracker, but there is a quick little cold front that will come on through tomorrow. It could give us a little bit of cloud cover by the morning, but relatively a quiet system, even though that system is being driven in by this upper level low passing way into the upper Midwest. But you see this upper level low developing out in the Gulf of Alaska. Doesn't look impressive now, but that's the wave that we're watching as we go into the middle of next week. In the short term, though, again, can't stress enough how quiet it's going to be throughout the rest of the evening as temperatures eventually drop back into the mid-20s overall. Again, with that passing front, maybe a little bit of cloud cover to start the morning out, but in general, that cloud cover will help us out, only allowing us to drop back near 24 degrees with a southwest wind at 5 to 15. But as that front works on through, a north breeze for the rest of the day, but still we'll trend a little warmer. 39 in the morning, most of us topping out around 42 degrees for your Sunday afternoon. So we're looking good to wrap up the weekend tomorrow. If you've got any local travel to any Super Bowl parties, if you are taking part in that, and you can see how we stay quiet all the way through Tuesday. But there's the upper low dropping into the southwest. It will gain steam. Here's Wednesday. We've got rain, we've got thunderstorms in the forecast, and a severe threat just to the south of the region. Still want to watch the rain and thunderstorm chances for Wednesday. Then as the wave kicks on through and we get on the colder side of the system, this could end as a rain-snow mix as temperatures plummet throughout the day on Thursday. So a little bit of something for everybody in the 7-day forecast. 42 tomorrow, 56 and nice for Valentine's Day. Let's go 64 Tuesday, 62 on Wednesday. The 2 mild days for the week, but thunderstorm chances ramp up Wednesday. Rain and snow chances Thursday as we drop into the 20s all day. But that's a short-lived cold snap. Chris will be back into the mid-40s by Friday and 55 by Saturday.
You know me, I'm not a fan of the cold weather, and while I don't like severe weather necessarily, I personally am ready for storm season, and I feel like this is going to be my first opportunity to maybe experience a little bit of storm season. So
yeah, and if anyone out there is not quite ready for severe season yet, again, Wednesday's chances for storms. Really think the severe threat stays just south of the region. It'll definitely be south and east of the region by Thursday. We'll just have to deal with another shot of winter by Thursday.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. I get my little bit of thunderstorms, then all of a sudden it snows again.
Like I said, a little something for everybody for the coming week.
That's true. That's true. Nick, thank you so much. Turning to sports, Danny Terzer joining us. It is the final stretch of the college basketball regular season.
Yep, still a lot of important games on the schedule. Big one tonight for Missouri Southern, the men hosting the number 2 team in the country. Plus, the Southern women aim to keep their double-digit win streak alive. Those highlights and more next. The Southern women are now on a 10-game winning streak. They're fresh off a huge win over 21-ranked Missouri Western, and that's the third nationally ranked team they've beaten this year. Southern tied for first place in the MIAA, hosting Northwest. Mallory McConkey dominates in the first, bucket for 2. Lions down by 4 after 1. Then Lacey Stokes drives to the bucket, makes the tough shot. And a few plays later, Amaya Johns from the top for 3. Johns gets 14 today, 28-27 Southern at half. Maddie Stokes here turns, puts it in for 2, 6 points, 10 rebounds. We've got a tight one headed into the fourth, 41-40. Lacey Stokes now from behind the arc this time, sinks it, 26 points and 6 rebounds. Another great day for the freshman. And as the final minute plays out, Lions fans are on their feet. 11 straight wins for Southern, 56-49 the final.
They stepped up to the challenge. I mean, that was a grinding basketball game that could have went either way. You know, we just made a few more plays than they did down the stretch.
It just shows we have a lot of heart. We didn't really shoot the ball well today, but we stuck it out on defense and stuck to our game plan, and we know what we had to do.
We went from we were trying to hunt them down to being the hunted.
On the men's side, it's going to be a tough one for the Lions tonight. The Northwest men are ranked number 2 in the country. Byron Alexander with the big two-handed jam. And then off the turnover, Winston Desiso behind the back pass. Avery Taggart finishes. RJ Smith here hits the bucket for 2. 16 points tonight. Lions down by 8. Then it's Lawson Jenkins in the corner, knocks down the 3. He's fired up, 4 for 5 from 3. He finishes with a team high 20. Southern within 6 at the break. The Lions play a tight second half, but fall 71-64. Over in Pittsburgh, the women playing Missouri Western. They fell to the Griffins earlier this year. Today, they pick up a huge win, beating the 21-ranked Griffins by 26. 79-53 is the final. The Gorillas are led by Tristan Gegg with 24 points, and Aaron Davis finishes with 12 points and 7 rebounds. The men record their second loss this week, falling 75-53 to Missouri Western. Magic Relaford scores 12, and Ryan Pippins adds 11. Pitt State softball continues on in the Alvey Early Memorial Classic. The Gorillas won the first game of the trip on Friday to get to 3-0 to start the season. Action resumes this afternoon with a game against Quincy. The Gorillas score 13 in the first inning behind homers from Kylie Bowley and Paxton Hayes. PSU dominates 19-3. The Missouri Southern softball team is in Oklahoma City with the doubleheader on the schedule today. In Game 1, Southern falls to Southwestern Oklahoma State 9-7. Leighton Withers gets her first home run of the season, finishing with 2 runs and 3 RBI. Kara Amos strikes out 10. Game 2 still going on right now. Southern trails Cameron 9-4 in the 7th. That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
Tonight on the KOAM News at 10, we'll have more details regarding the officer-involved shooting in Ottawa County. Plus, we're heading to Webb City for their JROTC competition. And we're going to stop in Pittsburgh for the Polar Plunge. Hope you join us for those stories and more tonight at 10. Well, the countdown is on to the big game, and festivities are well underway in Los Angeles. Check out this amazing drone show put on by the NFL Friday night. 500 drones form the outlines of the Lombardi Trophy, the NFL Shield, and logos of the 2 teams facing off on Sunday. There will be 3 more of these spectacular drone shows Saturday, starting at 7. This was just one of many events ahead of the Super Bowl celebration on Sunday, or the Super Bowl rather on Sunday. It's a celebration. Now, just some additional information. The FBI has also partnered with the FAA, TSA, and Los Angeles Police Department to ensure that the weekend is safe for everyone. So, it's unfortunate the Chiefs didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but it's still, I mean, it's the big game. They call it that for a reason. So, I mean, and they look like they're going all out.
Hopefully it will be a good one.
I think it still will be. Nick Kelly, final check of that forecast.
Well, we're going to keep things cold but quiet for tonight. We'll be back in the lower 40s tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. 50s on Monday, 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday. But come Wednesday, second with Doug's pattern. That's when our next strong storm system with storms and maybe winter weather on the backside. That's the next system on the way.
Certainly a time to get that Skywatch weather app if you don't have it already. And why don't you if you don't?
And it's free.
It is free. Danny Terzer, a final check of that Sportscast.
Well, I feel like a little bit of a broken record because Missouri Southern just keeps on winning, and I keep on saying it. 11 straight now with their win today over Northwest.
All right, guys, thank you so much. That's our time for now. We'll be back here at 9 and 10, and thanks for making us part of your night.